The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com. Barbecue provided by Kenny's Rib Wagon, catering ribs for your pleasure and serving daily at Plaza Pub, 62nd and Douglas in Des Moines across from Merle Hay Mall. Find Kenny's Rib Wagon on Facebook. Welcome to the Gospel Road. We're going to look at Isaiah 32 today. Just remember, when we get all done, be sure to kind of read it for yourself and see how it helps you, how it speaks to you to grow and make that next step of what you need. I hope you've had a good week. I keep hitting the microphone. Hope you had a good week. I always say this, it's just been that way. It's just been really busy and crazy this week. And I saw a commercial earlier this week because everybody's on the vaccine. Get the vaccine. Don't get the vaccine. Again, personal choice and you choose. But one thing I remember over the last year dealing with this pandemic was the big thing about people slowing their lives down. Stopping and smelling the roses. You've heard that comment. Statement, saying, spending more time with their family. They were really able to grow a little more over the last year of something they weren't able to do because life was so busy. And I know many people that have said that, they weren't going to go back to that busy life because of this, what they've, the togetherness they've had with their family. With even friends, conversations that they weren't having that before because, again, life was there. Well, this commercial came on, and of course it was a pro-vaccine commercial. And in this commercial, they're saying, get vaccinated so I can get back to my busy life. Get back to your busy life. So makes you question who they're talking to. I guess maybe it's a single person who just has no care for the world and there's no friends and they just do what they do. Wait, I think I've just described myself now. I have friends, but I am busy. And I'll admit I do that to myself. But here again, we're all in a certain part of life, a hand that was dealt to us, and we're doing the best we can to deal with that. We've all made decisions that we've had to fix or deal with. And that's kind of where I am. And it almost goes back to looking 50, 100 years ago when people were working 80 hours a week just to pay the bills. I know that feeling. Playing catch up because of things that you've done. And a lot of people don't understand that, which is fine. I get that. In fact, I had someone the other day who went, we're just trying to understand you. We're trying to get you. I go, is it your job to get me? Is it your job to understand me? Is it my job to understand you? I thought the whole point is us coming together and encouraging and lifting up one another. And man, yeah, that stinks, but man, we're doing our best. We're pushing forward. And that's what I have. I'm doing my best. I'm pushing forward. Does it eat up a lot of my time? Yeah, it does. Do I want it to? No, I don't. But you do what you got to do, unfortunately, to stay afloat. So they always say to get ahead. Some people aren't getting ahead. They're just staying afloat. And that's this thing we call life. Being an adult. Being responsible, making those choices. We've all made those choices. Part of a conversation I was having this weekend, I kind of probably shared a little more information than I normally share because I keep a lot of things close to me because I don't need it. I mean, people don't need to know the information. And a lot of times if people hear the information, then they start feeling bad for you or something like that. And, I'm not playing a victim. I don't want that charity case, that charity feeling. Of course, sometimes it kind of makes you wonder in your brain, maybe I should be playing that card, but, no, I don't want to. And we were just having a conversation about my plan of life, what I originally wanted to do. And we kind of went through that, and I said, well, I had all these ideas, and then things have happened, and well, what I wanted to do didn't do, ended up going in a different direction by no real plan of mine. I mean, I know I've said it here before that me getting into radio really was not an idea. That was not that original plan. I mean, come on, I'm a freshman in high school, and I was going to be an accountant. How do you go from being a CPA to being an accountant, to being in radio? And then it was interesting having the comment that we said of how they said, well, you don't want to play the victim. You want to really kind of keep pushing that thing forward. And I'm sitting here going, I didn't realize I was playing the victim. Thought I was taking what I had and I was doing the best I could with it. In fact, the reality is, even though I didn't go down the original path, I don't feel bad. I don't dwell on that. There's no remorse that was a door that just I didn't take. I mean, that could be something you can always dwell on, and I didn't. I found something else that interested me. I had interest, piqued my interest. And, here I am, doing the best I can. Learning everything I can about it. Which was interesting because, again, when I first ended up in radio, I had no plan of being on the air. No, I was going to do promotions. I was never going to be a program director of a radio station. How things change. I end up being a music director, promotions director, program director, end up being on air. No plan for any of that. It's just funny how life can take little turns that you weren't expecting. And I know for me, I'm trying to do the best that I can. Again, I always say it every week. It's being better today than I was yesterday. That's what our goal is, being better. Helping others to be better. Again, part of conversations, friends of mine that are trying to sell their house and they just had one fall through and they're just going, oh, well, that means it's been on been up for sale for, almost a month, and, they're concerned. And I said, well, it was, but it wasn't really available for part of that time because there was an offer on it. It was basically sold. I mean, the thing is, to me, that's encouraging because people are wanting to buy that house. So once it becomes available again, if others that were looking at it didn't find something else, I mean, to me, that means something's going to happen. I mean, I was just trying to encourage them to say, don't look at that pessimistic side. Look at the optimism. The hope of what can happen because you already seen that it could. And of course, I'm wrong. You just say everything opposite of me. Well, okay, fine. I'm a jerk. I get it. I will tell everyone that I am. If you don't believe me, ask anyone that I talk to. And I know some people, they just don't want to be encouraged. They want to keep that pessimism. They don't want to be optimistic. I get that. I was there for many years. Many. There was no light at the end of the tunnel. I was never going to come to an end. Just many things that we've got to sit there and kind of get through to understand where we are, to understand what it is that we're going to do. But then really trying to help others and encourage others. I will admit I'm not, the most strategic, the most corporate worded person. But I just want people to be better. I want people to really see their potential. Some are able to. Some are not. I'll be honest, I'm one. I see zero potential for me, except flapping my mouth into a microphone and to this, and some people listen every week, which is fabulous. I don't really expect it, because this is just kind of like my rambles of me in my brain to get it out. And that's how, and I've said it before, it's how the whole podcast started. I just started recording. I'm going, this is it. This is something I just feel to do, and this is a great way for me to do it. And rather than just, saving the files and keeping them locked up on my computer, I found ways to share it. And I had people that listened, and I was surprised. People still are. As again, I come and go, and I ebb and flow. Because, life got busy. Remember, I said I have a busy life because I am trying to keep up with myself, keep up with life. Lots of responsibilities. Some I have to be responsible for because I did it. Others were not responsibilities I was expecting. And they just kind of said, bloop, here you go. You now have to do this because it's your responsibility. Some we have control of, some we do not. So again, you do the best that you can to keep pushing forward. Isaiah 32. Let's get into that. I rambled much about there, but really it is though. It's what is it that you can do better today? Isaiah 32. It says, "Behold, a king will reign in righteousness, and princes will rule in justice. Each will be like a hiding place from the wind, a shelter from the storm, like streams of water in a dry place, like the shade of a rock in a weary land. Then the eyes of those who see will not be closed, and the ears of those who hear will give attention. The heart of the hasty will understand and know, and the tongue of the stammerers will hasten to speak distinctly. The fool will no more be called noble, and nor the scoundrel said to be honorable. For the fool speaks folly, and his heart is busy with iniquity. To practice ungodliness, to utter error concerning the Lord, to leave the craving of the hungry unsatisfied, and to deprive the thirsty of drink. As for the scoundrel, his devices are evil. He plans wicked schemes to ruin the poor with lying words, even when the plea of the needy is right. But he who is noble plans noble things, and on noble things he stands. Rise up, you women who are at ease. Hear my voice. You complacent daughters, give ear to my speech. In little more than a year you will shudder, you complacent woman. For the grape harvest fails, the fruit harvest will not come. Tremble, you women who are at ease, shudder, you complacent ones. Strip and make yourselves bare, and tie sackcloths around your waists. Beat your breasts for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine, for the soil of my people growing up in thorns and briars. Yes, for all the joyous houses in the exultant city. For the palace is forsaken, the population city deserted, the hill and the watchtower will become dens forever. A joy of wild donkeys, a pasture of flocks, until the Spirit is poured upon us from on high, and the wilderness becomes a fruitful field, and the fruitful field is deemed a forest. Then justice will dwell in the wilderness, and righteousness abide in the fruitful field. And the effect of the righteous will be peace, and the result of the righteous, quietness and trust forever. My people will abide in a peaceful habitation, in secure dwellings, and in quiet resting places. And it will hail when the forest falls down, and the city will be utterly laid low. Happy are you who sow beside all waters, who let the feet of the ox and the donkey range free. Isaiah 32. Sowing your seeds by the water. We all know that the closer you are, if you're talking agriculture, the more you plant near water, the less you have to water, the more fertile the soil. Isaiah 32. How does that speak to you? How does it help you to take that next step, to become better, to help others become better? I mean, are you complacent? Are you in a place of your life that you're just okay? No need to grow. I'm fine just where I am. And there's some people that are like that. But then you have those that are complacent that sit there and complain, who play the victim, as discussed earlier. Well, if you're wanting something to change, then change it. Don't be complacent. Do something better. Move forward. Press on. Be the best that you can be. Is it easy? No. Is it a lot of work? Yes. Is it disappointing at times? Yes. Because you're not always going to get everything. Things are not always going to work the way you want it to. But you just keep pushing. You hold that hope. You keep that optimism. Keep moving forward for that time of the harvest. Things will change. Things will become better. I mean, I'm seeing that changing in my life now. Things are getting better after years of struggling. Again, I'm still trying to keep up, but not as hard as I did before. Because now, rather than pushing and continually falling behind, I'm pushing and things are getting done and moving forward. To a point that I can see a light at the end of the tunnel. I can see the silver clouds. I don't know if I used that term right. The silver lining, that's what I want. It will happen. It's there. But it still takes time. Still takes work. Still encouraging and motivating and inspiring. Pushing myself. Helping others to also be that better person. Not trying to kick them down and kick them while they're down and keeping them down, but to help them up when they fall. To keep pressing on. Isaiah 32, that is what we looked at today, what we read. Again, read that for yourself. How does it speak to you? How does it help you? How does it help you help others to be that better person? That better husband, that better wife, aunt, uncle, grandparent, friend, sibling. Fill in the line. Fill it in. How does it help you? What can it do for you? Isaiah 32. Read that today. If you enjoyed this, thank you for listening and share it with others on social media. In fact, you can find me on Facebook and Twitter at MyBuddyJimmy, also on YouTube at MyBuddyJimmy101. Thank you for listening to The Gospel Road. Have a great day. God bless.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.